What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are currently just starting our dash for this Tuesday, and earlier we went and played some baseball.
I had kind of an incident, and apparently I don't know how to field a ground ball, but you'll see that if the footage is good.
Yeah, if the footage is okay, you'll see that now. If not, we're going to get on with our dash and the rest of the night. Or you want a new one? Alright. Yep.
You saw breaking.
Injury in the field.
What? Yeah, it's gone.
As you can see, we're also running with the tablet tonight. We tried this as an experiment the other night. It worked pretty well. We've seen some other people doing it. We just had to try it ourselves. The only issue is sometimes when you have to contact customers on this Android tablet, you have to go into Messenger and then type in the masked phone number from there'll be a 650 phone number. You have to just put it in your phone. It'll still work, although your number won't be masked to the caller. But it makes it a lot easier that way you can just use your phone for directions, and you don't have to worry about switching between the apps.
Alright, so the reason I switched to the tablet was because the iOS, like, DoorDash app isn't supported, so you have to go into it's like a secondary...
A third-party website to download.
A third-party website that they tell you they link it for you. So you go and you download it, and it's not from the App Store, so it doesn't run that great. And I found that the Android app works way better.
And on Android, it's just in the app, or in the Google Play Store. You just download like any other app and just log in. It has a lot different features and whatnot, but it works a lot better than the iOS. It updates your ratings quicker and everything like that. All in all, it's just better on Android. So if you're on iOS, I don't know if they're changing it anytime soon, but I would recommend, if you have a tablet, using the tablet. And like I said in the previous clip, if you need to contact the customer, you just need to put it in the Messenger and then copy the phone number, and you can text them and call them.
Alright, so you'll see here that we are almost in the middle of all three of these hotspots, and what a hotspot is where the majority of the orders will come in, and what we found that works best is the parking lot we usually sit in to wait for orders happens to be right here. fairly close to all the other hotspots. So what happens is if we get an order out in Chesterfield at the hotspot number 2, we are already close to the hotspot and it won't be that far of a drive. Same with 1, we're halfway in between, so it takes less time for us to get there. And for the 3rd hotspot, a little further away, but it's still not that bad.
Alright, so for anyone wondering what DoorDash is like compared to other delivery services, probably by the end of this week we're going to be signed up for Grubhub, and maybe next week we're going to go ahead and do a Grubhub versus DoorDash video. We'll bring you along for our first night out in Grubhub. We'll compare it to DoorDash, see which one's better, how much money we can make, how the different apps work. So that'll be a big video, hopefully coming maybe by the end of next week or the beginning of the week after that. I'm going to be in Florida though, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to get that out. I'm putting this in the video. I'm putting everything in the video. That's the end of this clip. Grubhub versus DoorDash coming soon. Alright, we got our first order. We're headed out to Mani Thai restaurant. Small order, we're right next to the restaurant, so I'll update you when we go get the food. Alright, so we're at our first order now. He's inside picking up the food. And I want to take this time to go over a little bit about stacking orders. And this varies from where you are and where you're delivering food at. But here we don't get it very often. And when we do, we only get it at the same restaurant. So for example, a couple weeks ago we got an order at Red Robin, and while we were going to Red Robin, it gives you another notification on your phone as you're going, and it asks if you want to add this to your route. You can either accept or decline. It usually won't give you a full amount, so like we were making $9 off of that order for Red Robin, and then it got an additional only $6 for an order about the same size to deliver further away. And some people may think that this affects their delivery times, it'll take longer, but it notifies the customer and it changes your estimated delivery times on the customer's end, so they will know that you're going to be a little bit later. So when it gives you the extra order, it'll give you an even amount. So we were very close. It gave us an extra $6. I had a Five Guys order where we were fairly far away, gave me an extra $9. So really, it's not that much of a hassle. You just gotta make sure you keep them separate. Other than that, it's not a big deal. Make sure you do it because it'll affect your acceptance rate. And another little tip I want to recommend is some people like to wait before they go into restaurants once they've marked as arrived at the restaurant. And I would advise to not do this because apparently DoorDash gives the restaurant an estimated time that you'll be there, even if you're not a partnered restaurant. So for example, DoorDash will tell the restaurant 10 to 15 minutes after they place the order, but we've had an experience talking to a restaurant owner that he was told 10 to 15 minutes and then proceeded to have to wait an hour and 45 minutes for a driver to get there. So especially if you're getting orders back to back with no wait times in between, that means the food is ready to be picked up. And one thing DoorDash says they do is that they put, they don't send the order out to a dasher until the food should be almost ready. So if you're getting orders back to back, one after another, it means the food has been stacked up and waiting there. So one of the restaurant owners we talked to, he said he doesn't even make the food until the DoorDash driver comes in. So make sure you get inside quickly and then go back to your car if you have to wait for the food. It's not that big of a deal. That's what I recommend you do, just because they give them that 10 to 15 minutes, which sometimes can be highly unreasonable. And another thing is, if you're waiting for food in a restaurant, you'll get a little tab that will ask you what your status is. It'll give waiting in line, waiting for food, or food picked up, no problems. There's a few other options on there. But if you're actually waiting for food, make sure you pay attention and click waiting for food on that. Because we find that most of the time that we do click waiting for food, we end up getting a bit of extra money at the end after we deliver the food. It's not much, it's an extra $150, $250 per delivery. But occasionally I had to wait over 45, almost 50 minutes for an order at the restaurant because the restaurant was backed up running slow, and I got an extra $8 on that delivery and made $22 off of one delivery. So make sure you check on that. Don't let the notification slip by. Go in, press waiting for food. It could earn you a few extra dollars. And just to clear things up, something I want to go a little more in depth about is our app we use to track our miles. I explained a little bit in our first DoorDash video, but we had a comment on the first video asking what it was. So again, it's called Stride Tax. It's available on both the Apple and Android app stores. All you do, it's very simple to use. You just hit the plus button in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and you hit delivery, and that's it'll track your miles for the delivery, and then you gotta make sure you end them before the delivery is over. There's nights where we get going on deliveries. We don't end it the entire night because we're constantly running different restaurants and delivering. We don't have any downtime in between. But just make sure you end them so you can have an accurate mileage count and you don't have to write it down yourself or track it any other way. It's very simple. It's hard to mess up, but it's a great app, saves you a lot of time. It works very well. Alright, so this is the tax app that we use, Stride Tax. And it's real simple to use. All you do is hit the green plus when you get a order, hit track my miles. And then when you're done driving, you hit I'm done driving and mark it as a delivery. So we're on the way to an order, so we're going to make sure the miles are going, and we'll turn them off once we deliver the food. Order number 2, right away after delivering order number 1, we're headed off to McAllister's. Alright, so we're dropping order number 2 off right now. It took us a grand total of about 35 minutes, made $10 off the delivery. We made $7 and some change on the actual delivery, and then an extra $3 is our bonus tonight per delivery as long as we accept 75% of the orders between 5 and 7:30. So we're well on pace. We need one more order and we'll be at 75%. There'll be 3 orders within the time frame, so we have an extra $3 per those 3 deliveries. And it looks like we actually have an issue. The customer has not answered his door, so we're bringing the food back here. We're gonna have to contact the customer here just to make sure we can get them their food. So it's clear the customer's home. We just haven't been able to get him to the door yet. We tried calling once with no answer, so we're gonna give him a text now, and then they'll probably go try the door one more time. And if we still don't hear from him, like, it's pretty clear he's here. The garage door's open. There's cars here. But we just can't get a hold of him. So if we can't get a hold of him by going back to the door or send him a text, I guess we'll start the timer and wait it out. And what I mean by the timer is if the customer's unavailable, you go into the tab, and if we do end up doing that, we can show you what that looks like. But you end up hitting a tab on the in the customer support. There's a little question mark, and you say customer is unavailable, and then it'll start a timer. And if you don't hear from the customer by that time, then you mark it as delivered and take the food. All right, so the customer ended up coming out about a minute after we sent him the text. So we got the food. We'll mark it as delivered, and we'll get on to our next delivery. All right, so we ended up getting our 4th order. We got 4 items to pick up from McDonald's. So we run into another issue here on this order. Sometimes the menus between DoorDash and what the actual menus are at the restaurant don't add up. So for example, on this order, customer wanted hotcakes and sausage from McDonald's, and they don't serve that during the day. They only serve that at breakfast. So since we know that before we get to the restaurant, we've stopped and we're going to contact the customer, see if there's anything else within the price range that he would like that we could order for him, because at McDonald's you have to order and then pay with your red card. So we were able to substitute something different on the menu. So if you know this is a problem, it's better to jump on it early like we're doing now and try to figure it out before we get there. Alright, so order number 3 has just been dropped off. We had that little hiccup with something not being on the menu. We cleared it up quickly. He responded back and we replaced the item on the order with what he wanted, and 3rd delivery is done, and we'll check back in with the 4th. Go.
Alright, so we just got our 4th order of the night, and it's to go to Pasta House. So we'll update you when we pick it up.
I want you all to myself. Don't wanna share you with nobody else. So give me something to believe. Will you promise me? Will you promise me?
Alright, so we just picked up our order at Pasta House, and we're heading to the house now. And I just wanted to talk about the ratings on the app. So for completion rate, in our area at least, you cannot have below an 80% completion rate or you have a chance of being deactivated. And for the acceptance rate, we've gotten as low as 70% without having any issues at all. And then for the customer rating, try to stay above a 4.3 because you can also be deactivated if you go below that.
And by no means are those like instant termination on DoorDash. I've gone as low as a 3.83 when we first started because I had one bad order, I got one bad rating, and it really just tanked it to 3.83. And I was able to get it back up to well above a 4.7 with no problem, and I was never deactivated. So those are just, on the website it says maybe deactivated. So just, I wouldn't risk it, and make sure you accept and complete all the orders.